All right, vagabonds, welcome back. Today, we're leaving the cozy city of Inverness and making our way to Portree and Isle of Skye. Isle of Skye is known as the Misty Isle.
This is one of the most scenic drives in Scotland, even in the rain. And yes, it rained a lot. But we were prepared for that moody Highland weather. Fingers crossed that we win against the rain.
On our way to Portree, we passed the Sligagen Bridge, dating back to the 1820s. Legend says that if you dip your face in the river, for 7 seconds, you're granted eternal beauty. It seems to have worked on the four of us.
We were determined to see as much as possible, rain or shine, and the North Loop is one of the best ways to see the Skye's highlights.
First stop, the Fairy Glen, which, yes, looks like a home for fairies. Its whimsical, cone-shaped hills, tiny ponds, and swirling patterns of grass make the whole place feel otherworldly. There aren't specific fairy legends tied to it, but the landscape itself tells its own magical story. At its center is Castle Uig, a rock formation that looks like a tiny fairy tale fortress.
And the sheep, they're everywhere. The Scottish black-faced sheep are iconic here, due to their ability to survive harsh conditions. Come on.
Skinny legs and
take us on up the
fat
road.
ass. So I need a haircut. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Can't see around, that's another issue.
At least it looks like where there's a big curve, they make it a little wider. We love this tiny magical kingdom, but the rain won.
This bay is tucked into a wide sweeping curve of coastline. The pier has long been an important gateway connecting Skye to the islands, and it still bustles with ferry traffic today.
This museum features 7 traditional 19th century thatched blackhouses that recreate the historic crofting township. Inside, you'll find authentically furnished cottages, a blacksmith shop, a weaver's house, and a barn filled with artifacts that showcase the resourceful lives of islanders more than a century ago.
Is there another one up there?
Yeah, he's got one up there, right there.
Okay.
After the museum, we headed toward the legendary Quiraing, a massive ancient landslip. We made it up the steep, winding road to the parking area, but the rain was absolutely sideways. Hiking was a no-go. We saved it for the next day.
These cliffs are spectacular. Kilt Rock gets its name from its pleated, kilt-like basalt columns and sandstone stripes. They're formed by volcanic activity millions of years ago. The falls drops 180 feet straight into the sea. Between the rock formation and the waterfall plunging into the ocean, it's one of Skye's most dramatic viewpoints.
Despite the rain, we headed down the path to the viewpoint. Wow! Towering cliffs, coastline stretching forever, waves crashing below. It was one of those moments where you're freezing and soaked, but completely mesmerized. And once we turned around, we saw the waterfall. It was absolutely raging, brown, powerful, and genuinely impressive after all that rain.
The skies opened up and we were all drenched. After a full day of adventuring, we returned to Portree for dinner. We wandered down to the harbor, rows of colorful buildings, fishing boats bobbing in the bay. Portree is Skye's largest town, yet it feels cozy, walkable, and full of character. We grabbed dinner, then headed back to our Airbnb to warm up and plan the next day.
We got up early to squeeze in as much adventure as possible. Today we're finishing the North Loop and then heading into the wild and dramatic West Loop. Let's go!
Once on the trail, the climb felt steep at times, but totally worth it. This is one of the most famous hikes in all of Scotland. Even without reaching the top viewpoint, the landscape was stunning. Rolling green hills and dramatic rock formations.
So why is it called the Old Man of Storr? Legend says the large pinnacle looks like the profile of an old man lying on his back. According to folklore, he was a giant who lived on the Trotternish Ridge. Once he died, he was buried in the earth. Only his thumb remained above ground. The thumb is what we see today.
We lucked out, no rain. Instead, we got dramatic low clouds swirling in and out of the pinnacles, which made everything look moody and magical. Definitely one of Skye's most unforgettable landscapes.
The Quiraing is totally different from the Old Man of Storr. While the Storr is a single iconic pinnacle, the Quiraing is an enormous landslip. A whole shifting landscape of cliffs, plateaus, and strange rock shapes. In fact, the name Quiraing comes from the Old Norse meaning round fold, referring to a natural bowl-like shape in the landscape.
We hiked part of the trail and got some jaw-dropping views. Endless shades of green, deep ridges, cliffs dropping to the sea. Even under clouds, the colors popped in a way that doesn't seem real. And of course, sheep. Always sheep. They were scattered across the hillside, just doing their thing. We can never get enough of those adorable woolly locals.
On our way to Neist Point, we made a quick detour to see Dunvegan Castle, the oldest continuously inhabited castle in Scotland and home to the chiefs of the Clan MacLeod for over 800 years. The MacLeods still live there today. We only had time to admire it from a distance.
Neist Point Lighthouse sits on the westernmost tip of Skye and feels like the edge of the world. From the cliffs you can see the white lighthouse perched on the rugged basalt cliffs with waves crashing below.
This was a find. Oh my goodness. Now this is Scotland.
We climbed higher on the cliffs for a perfect vantage point, taking in the wind and that wild, remote feeling. A perfect ending to our last big stop on Skye.
We had 2 incredible days exploring the Isle of Skye, but it's time to keep moving. In the next video, we'll share the rest of our Scotland adventures before heading to the Republic of Ireland.
Thanks for following along. Until next time, keep chasing new paths and new places.
We won!